welcome into our Sunday night game of the week. Jesse O, Alvin Delvey, and Jerry Pettit, our producer, on hand. And welcome into one of the best games that we will probably have all season. It's the Florida Flight and the Gainesville Mighty Oaks. And the Gainesville Mighty Oaks are coming off a big victory against the Pride, 133-104, but the Florida Flight are still the only undefeated team in the FBA so far. So they have the likes of Brandon Moss and Grant Gullett, but the Gainesville Mighty Oaks have a little secret 1-2 punch of their own between actually a combination of guys. You have Jonathan Johnson leading the pack, but I mean, Jared Doherty coming off the bench, sharpshooter. You have Jabari Hayes, Joe Quan Willie, who can shoot the ball well and play good defense. And Anthony Young, the quiet but efficient point guard. What do you have for me on both teams, Alvin?
It's going to be a phenomenal game because on one end with the Florida Flight, there's no telling who's going to drop 40, who's going to drop 50. On the other end, you don't know who's going to do the same on the other side. For the Mighty Oaks, they do a phenomenal job of playing team basketball. They move the ball very well, and they play stout defense, and they use that to run out and create offense. Whereas the Flight, they just flat out hoop. They can play. They got guys that can play well above the rim, create a lot of highlight plays, a lot of dynamic plays, and get their guys getting on early. So it's going to be the tale of who can really maintain their prime as long as the other team. So for the Flight, you're going to see a lot of electrifying plays, and they typically start off a little slower. So they're a second half team, and for the Mighty Oaks, they come out hot. So they're going to come out and start making their plays early on, and you want to see if they can maintain the fire that the Flight's going to put on them.
So we're going to go down to the floor now for our starting lineups, presented by Poly Wealth Management. Jared Doherty, Eden Demirovich, Jonathan Johnson, Jabari Hayes, and Anthony Young on the floor for the Gainesville Mighty Oaks, and for the Florida Flight, Caleb Winfrey, Elliot Glegg, Brandon Moss, Grant Gullett, and Travell Dickerson. So it should be a fun one here for our Sunday night game of the week. The undefeated team, and actually one of the newer teams the FBA has to offer here with the Gainesville Mighty Oaks, an expansion team. Jonathan Johnson and Brandon Moss at center court. And Brandon Moss will win this one. I guess I was going to call that one a little prematurely. I already started saying Moss's name, but, you know.
Yeah, he has the hops.
He flies high. What can I say? Glegg running the triangle offense, going towards the left side, guarded by Johnson. Man-to-man defense here by the Gainesville Mighty Oaks. Tipped around. Elliot Glegg gets Anthony Young to bite in the air, and Glegg can't get that one to fall. A big rebound by Gullett, and Gullett fouled immediately, and we saw a lot of fouls last game, Alvin, and already one within the first 30 seconds of this game.
Well, I'm a little nervous. However, they're not called the Florida Flight for no reason. Everyone on this team can fly. You see, Grant Gullett is a deceptive flyer because you see his bulky body, and you see him, and you don't think necessarily he flies like that. But on that last possession, he just levitates. He hovers in the air. It seems like he can change his shot at a snap of a finger. He does a phenomenal job of getting contact and drawing contact and finishing through that said contact. So look for Grant Gullett to have a phenomenal game in this one.
So Grant Gullett splitting the free throws. Now bounce pass down low. Jonathan Johnson blocked by Caleb Winfrey, and then the second time Johnson is able to put it through a 2-1 ball game.
This is a real game for Jonathan Johnson. He's going to have to show up and show out on that one. Very tenacious, getting his offensive board, putting it right back up and in.
Other side, Caleb Winfrey is able to put it through, and they missed him in their last game, but he adds on a solid 12.5 points from the field per game and shooting 40% from the field at that. Anthony Young up top, that one just dribbles out, and Caleb Winfrey pulls down the rebound. Right side, Gullett back to Winfrey from the right block. Now over to Moss, and Moss can't corral it.
Love the energy these two teams are playing to start out this game. Even though it's only 2-3, the game just started, and you're seeing a lot of high intensity early on.
Doherty down low to Eden Demirovich. Demirovich guarded by Gullett. The give off to Johnson. And a fight for the rebound is won by Grant Gullett. Now here's Glegg coming up top to Moss, and Moss for the first alley-oop of the game.
And Grant Gullett looking like a safety with that interception.
Gullet into Moss again! Back to back, Moss raising the roof, 7-2.
A 2-for-1 alley-oop throwdown. This is a dunk contest to start the game out.
Doherty for three, good from the right corner.
Mighty Oaks are no slouch. Jared Doherty sinking into that lethal corner and letting that tray bomb fly.
Glegg, a tough shot from the right side. Here's Anthony Young going the other direction. Doherty can't hold on to that one before it goes out of bounds.
It's a great look too. Jared Doherty understands where he has to get to on the court. He understands the hot zones and where he's the most lethal at, and you will always find him in those positions ready to shoot. On that one, just wasn't able to handle the spice that was put on that ball.
7-5 ball game. Gullet down to Moss, and Moss able to tip it in with the right hand.
This is just fun to watch. High flying and guys looking for each other.
Doherty hits another three in the right corner. Wow, he is a sharp shooter. He shoots 44% from beyond the arc and had 17 points in their last game.
Does a phenomenal job of getting to his spot. And the best part about it, his teammates understand that. Great camaraderie, great gelling by the Mighty Oaks to understand what his strengths are and make sure they get him the ball in his spot when he's ready for it.
Glegg, a pump fake beyond the arc, now dribbling in, throws it over to the right, likes to facilitate. Caleb Winfrey, a nice take inside, and that one rolls in.
Beautiful, beautiful attack by Caleb Winfrey. Nice finger roll to finish it off.
An 11-8 game. Doherty, a pump fake. Underneath, Demirovic to Johnson. That one tipped around, pulled down by Gullet. Glegg ahead for three, left wing. Demirovic, a good rebound there. Here's Joquan Whitley. Doherty running the floor left side. Takes a step back. Now he's one of his first missed threes of the game. Gullet going coast to coast. He's now got 3 points.
Great job by Gullet, slashing and attacking on that possession. The smaller guy has no chance of stopping him on that one.
Young to Demirovic. That one gets sailed out of bounds.
Great job getting a hand on it by the flight. Love the guard play we're seeing early in this game by both teams.
Demirovic creating some room, drawing a rebound, and now gives it up to John Johnson. Moss steps back, almost loses the handle of that one, and throws it into the rafters. It's still not coming down.
He assumed Elliot Glegg was about 6'8", built like LeBron James with that pass.
Unfortunately, Elliot is not.
He's close though, you know.
He's still growing.
Depending on what glasses you have on.
Oh yeah, well, those are pretty bad glasses. Ian Demirovic down low with the left hand. A 13-10 game. The Flight lead by 3.
Such a tit-for-tat game early on. And there's no reason to believe why it won't go like this for the rest of the game, outside of the fact that someone dropped 50 points.
Gullet banks it home from beyond the arc.
I thought the bank was closed on Sunday.
I mean, it should be. Demirovic inside and gets the basket.
Grant Gullet laughing on that one, trying to get the flop, but the electrician was not going for it. Great job by Eden being physical on that flop.
Glegg inside to Gullet, now Dickerson, pump fakes, Moss against Demirovic, beyond the arc. Moss just a little bit strong on the three. Glegg to Dickerson up with the left hand, who kisses it off the glass and in.
Gullet's doing a fantastic job of facilitating and watching the cutting Dickerson and hitting him where he needs it.
Whitley for 3, left wing. Back to a 3-point game.
Whitley does a fantastic fantastic job of knocking those trade balls down when you need them the most in transition and even in a set offense.
So that full team substitution that Coach Stallworth likes to run so much. So here's Marquise Watts guarding Grant Gullett. Steps back, takes a three. And that one couldn't fall. Full court pass ahead. Watts down low. And it rolls in.
Great job getting that up and in through contact. He got two guys around him. Did not matter. Great physical play on that block.
Moss, hesitation step. Now guarded by Elijah Gray. Gray, Brandon, Watts, Wesley, and Whitley in for the Gainesville Mighty Oaks. A pass left side. Glegg trying to penetrate. And Grant Gullett grabs his shoulder as he goes down to the ground. He's in some pain. Oh yeah, he got hit hard.
Hope it's just a stinger or a dead arm and nothing worse than that. Something that just hurts, but it's not a real injury that's going to create structural damage. But no telling what type of pain he's going through right now. That's a tough kid too.
.512 left to play in the first. Both teams moving rapidly throughout this first quarter here.
Very fast-paced game, and that's what you love to see when you're tuning into a basketball game. You want to see high intensity, fast-paced offenses, some highlight plays. We've got all of that early on in this game. We've seen a few alley-oops, lots of throwdowns, guys playing above the rim, so some long trade balls fall.
So, man, you hope Grant Gullett's all right. His team's up by 2. He's got 7 points as he comes out of the game. Wesley to Brandon, left corner for 3. And Moss the rebound. So here comes Moss going full speed. Glegg is going to bail him out there, as he almost lost the handle of it up top. Glegg pumps a 3. And the rebound by Isa Brandon.
Isa Brandon had a phenomenal game in his debut last week.
And a nice long 2-ball hit by James Wesley. Beautiful shot from the corner.
This Mighty Oak team knows how to gel as a unit and play some good basketball.
Dickerson for 3 up top.
Dickerson plays with real confidence on the court despite being the youngest.
That one taken away from Watts by Dickerson. Turnover. .412 to go in the first. Wesley, up fakes. Watts to Gray from the left elbow. Tipped around, brought down by Moisambo. Moss into the key. Goes up strong, foul. Moss wearing some tape around his middle finger and his ring finger on the left hand.
Definitely seems to have something going on with that left hand. He's grabbed it repeatedly throughout this first quarter. Fighting through some pain early in this game. That's definitely going to affect his jump shot. And it probably doesn't help that he's been jumping up and slamming it down against that iron rim with fingers that hurt.
free throw, so he splits the pair. Shooting 49% from the free throw stripe this year. Had 19 points in their last game, but is still the leading scorer in the FBA, shooting around 39 points per game. He's well on his way. He's got 7 already in the first quarter.
And that's a great offensive possession outside of the fact that he got a little excited and his toe touched that line. That's just great ball movement and relocation. Move the rock. Jaquan Whitley sees it. Isa Brandon's able to relocate into that deep corner 3 and got it back to him very quickly. That's what you want to see if you're the Gainesville Mighty Eagles.
Here's Moss way downtown. Isa Brandon going the other direction. Brandon driving in, throws it right, 1 step in front of the arc. Wesley is off the mark on that one. White Sambo to Brandon Moss going through traffic, right side. Caleb Winfrey stops that one from going out of bounds. Sambo, Winfrey right corner. Winfrey from that right elbow. Caleb Winfrey finding his spot and making the shot. He's got 6.
Beautiful shot selection. It seemed like he paused time while he was elevating.
Other side, Jaquan Whitley. Now with 2 made threes in the ballgame, he's got 6 points. His team back to trailing by only 3.
Does a phenomenal job of answering. Jaquan Whitley knows how to answer any question that you have, whether it's someone scoring on the other end or anything else.
Terry Cleveland will get in on the action and make the 3.
Nice high arcing shot with the high release. Terry Cleveland banging home a nice jump shot.
So it's marked as a 2. Inside. (27-22) the score with 2:07 to play in the first. It's Terry Cleveland's first made jumper in a while.
Love to see him get involved as early as he's been this game, and getting on the scoreboard as well. That's something that you gotta love if you followed his journey throughout the NBA ranks.
Wesley makes the second one. Ambo falls down to the ground. Still on the floor to flight direction.
Coach AJ needs to be heard by the refs. He has some questions that need to be answered.
(27-24). The inbounds to Moss. Moss still out beyond the arc, left side. Now we'll pull up and airball that one. Isa Brandon now goes the other way.
We've seen a lot of airmail this game, or this day actually.
So what happens when you're here calling 4 games?
I wonder where all that mail goes.
China.
Jerry's house.
Jerry's gonna show up, mailbox full.
Straight air balls.
Look at Jabari Hayes, who also wants to get in on the action. It's all tied up here again at 27.
And you see them activate their full court press off that Jabari Hayes tray ball. Look at the hustle.
Cleveland off the mark on that one. They rebound. Here's Brandon Moss down low, foul.
And that's something that Brandon Moss has a clear advantage with when he decides he wants to get aggressive and score. Not too many people can get in front of him and really stop him from doing so.
Shane Prunty and Adam Waldo checking in. So here come the twin towers of Adam Waldo and Brandon Moss. Moss off the back of that first free throw.
Adam Waldo just eats weights. Look at that frame.
Waldo tried to come down with that. He was beaten out by Watts. So here comes Gainesville in a tie ball game. 54 seconds left to play in the first. Look at James Wesley trying to go coast to coast, and he does.
Beautiful way to slither in the lane through traffic, getting that up and in. Fantastic job by Wesley.
Moss getting past everyone left side, flips it in and draws the foul.
Just too easy from one coast to the next, flying through the lane and getting that one to fall.
Holding his left hand, he looks like he's in some pain.
He's been in pain all game, and it doesn't seem to subside. He has those fingers wrapped up, and that has to affect his jump shot.
Absolutely. Well, you know what I like to say? It's a beautiful day to be inside, but now it's actually a beautiful day to be inside. It is storming outside. I think I see blue sky everywhere else, but
welcome to Florida, Jesse. Yeah. Blue sky on one side, it'll come down with cats and dogs on the other.
Isa Brandon blocked by Moss. Glegg to Moss, and Moss, go-go gadget, spring step.
Brandon Moss flying through the air, getting that to go in. Nice highlight play from the flight.
And there's a nice basket on the other side by Marquise Watts. So Marquise Watts getting in on a lot of the action today. 31-31, a stolen ball. And Isa Brandon puts it through. That's the first Gainesville Mighty Oak lead of the ball game, 33-31. Isa Brandon on the board. Brandon Moss, other side, lost the handle of it. James Wesley with 3 seconds left on the game clock. Wesley taking up with the right hand, no good. Isa Brandon, turnaround jumper. And that will do it for the first quarter of action. The Gainesville Mighty Oaks lead by 2. And the Florida Flight and the Mighty Oaks still have a lot to play to go. 3 more quarters of action, but as we wrap up the first one, the Mighty Oaks are up by 2.
Shakes Oviedo Mall. Best burger you'll ever eat. It's worth the drive.
A 2-point lead for the Mighty Oaks as we go into the second quarter. And this is all you could have wanted from your Sunday night game of the week, Melvin.
High-scoring game. Both offenses are a well-oiled machine. Shots are falling, and Jared Doherty is not an exception. Really lethal from the corner shots. You just saw it right there. Both teams playing very well.
Doherty shooting at a 50% clip from the field, 44% from beyond the arc. There's Demirovic, over to Young, and Young guarded by Shane Prunty. Doherty again from right wing, and Moss pulls down the rebound. Moss getting inside, fouled.
It's really scary when Moss decides to get ahead of steam. You don't know what he's gonna do. He can shoot it, he can pass it. Most of all, he can rise. Don't want to get put on a poster, become a screensaver for the next 30 years of your life. Actually, you become immortal at that point.
Yeah.
Gotta wonder if those fingers with that left hand is hurting his shot.
I mean, he keeps grabbing it, so he's feeling something.
But this is the tale of the tape. Both teams are going to do very well offensively. It's just that the Flight are a second half team. So you want to see the Mighty Oaks continue the pressure that they put on in the first half. You want to see them carry that on to the second half in the money quarters and in the winning quarter.
But you think the money quarter is the third quarter?
Money quarter is the third quarter, but you got to finish. You got to close it out in the fourth.
Elliot Glegg. Left elbow. Good! Elliot Glegg, just one of the unsung heroes for this Florida Flight team. Had a 54-point game this season. And he's just been awesome, diverting pretty much all the attention off of himself and giving it to other guys as Jonathan Johnson makes one on the other side.
And that's the good thing about Elliot Glegg. He doesn't play with pride. Well, he plays with honor and integrity, but he doesn't let his ego get in the way of making plays. He had a 54-point game, but after that, he doesn't necessarily need to shoot the ball. Right there, you see a high difficult shot falling through with a bunch of contact. And right there, you're seeing Anthony Young play fantastic. This guard matchup with Anthony Young and Elliot Glegg is one to watch.
Moss left wing three. Waldo put it up, no good. Moss right underneath the basket. So Moss now with 13 points. Had 19 in their last game. Right up top, Young. Waldo to Moss. Under 10 minutes to play in the second. Moss changing direction down low and lays it in.
Oh my. Don't do it to him.
Other side, a quick fast break by Trey Jackson. And the lead back up to 4 for Gainesville.
Tough assignment for Jonathan Johnson. But Trey Jackson got his back by leaking out and getting that quick bucket.
Waldo back to Prunty, and a bad pass cut off by Jackson. And a foul in transition. Here's the quiet guard, Anthony Young, up top. He's guarded by Terry Cleveland. Demirovic turns the corner down low, can't get the shot to fall. And Waldo the rebound.
I really like that matchup between Demirovic and Waldo.
Backcourt violation on the Flight. So the Flight not necessarily playing high IQ basketball right now.
Quick turnover, not what you want to see.
Trey Jackson, no, and went through the rebound. Glegg. Johnson the rebound, here we go. Doherty, left side. Trey Jackson, left corner beyond the arc. We'll call that a pass, and Demirovic couldn't finish it down below. Ball tipped around. Winfrey recovers.
Winfrey flying all over the court.
Down low, there's Waldo. Fouled as he goes up with the left hand.
Waldo, a former Belmont University Bruin, also inducted into the Bruin Hall of Fame, getting his first look at the free throw line in this game.
Travell Dickerson checking back in for Terry Cleveland. Waldo's second one is off. Dickerson gets the rebound. The bounce pass down low, cut off by Johnson. Johnson ahead through traffic. Now throws it up with the left hand and makes the layup.
Good job by Johnson finishing that fast break. A lot of the times you'll see guys try to pass it and do too much on the offensive end, turn it into a turnover. Good job on that one.
Trey Jackson down low. Johnson with the reverse. He makes the shot there.
There we go. Jonathan Johnson starting to turn it up offensively. He was a little quiet in that first quarter. Coming alive here in the second.
45-37. Moss along three and an air ball.
Almost shot that from Lillard range. Sent another air mail to Jerry's residence.
Anthony Young from the free throw stripe.
Love that fadeaway, one-legged jumper. Only the skilled can pull that jumper off. Anthony Young, clearly one of those few.
Winfrey can't convert the layup there. 47-37. Anthony Young, the bounce pass down low, taken away by Dickerson. Now here's Dickerson, the pass ahead to Winfrey. Winfrey up to Moss, and Moss putting it down. Moss with 17 points. Doherty guarded by Dickerson.
Eden has not been able to find the bottom of the net in this one. Waldo has been playing him very well. Big tray ball by Dickerson on the other end. Nice way to answer that stout defense by Waldo.
Doherty for three. And tipped in by Demirovic.
Hopefully that tip-in is just what the doctor ordered for Demir's game, because you need him to show up and show out in this one.
Mighty Oaks by 7. Moss up top. Goes to the right, Glegg, the pump fake, spins, fade away. Ball tipped around, and he'll recover a shot clock violation.
Great job by the Mighty Oaks to force that shot clock violation. But I really wanted Brandon Moss to finish that play. Great separation off that kill dribble, passed out of it, resulted in shot clock violation.
Timeout taken here on the floor. 49-42 with 6 minutes to play in the second.
World where one girl goes on endless adventures, gives you unbelievable toy unboxings, does insane food challenges, and plays way too much Roblox. It's Elle's Adventures. Subscribe now. Do it. Why not?
coming out of the timeout, the Mighty Oaks have done a pretty solid job of getting guys involved early, and they're sitting on a comfortable 7-point lead.
Isa Brandon couldn't get that layup to fall, and a foul on the floor.
Good job by Brandon, attacking, being relentless on the boards, attacking the seams, and that's what they've done this whole game so far. You got guys attacking seams and just being aggressive, regardless of facing the undefeated Flight.
Our officials for today's game: David Ruiz Calderon, who's been with us pretty much all day. Curtis Bowen is the new one, wearing number 37, and Mike Rivera is the crew chief, who's with us as always. He's in 34. Glegg on the right side, guarded by Brandon well out beyond the arc. Glegg now turns the corner, and that one just dribbles out. Moisambo couldn't get that one to fall. The pass down low. Elijah Gray inside Watts. That one's tipped around and taken away by Terry Cleveland. He'll give it to Moss, and they'll slow things down.
Good job by the Flight on that defensive possession, forcing him to miss, and right there not able to convert.
Foul goes against Moisambo. Isa Brandon inside, and it goes out of bounds.
The mindset is there. You like to see how they're attacking. They're not settling for contested jump shots. They're trying to get a good shot. Just lost the handle on that one.
The shot inside, no good. And the rebound by Elijah Gray. Moisambo fouled him on the floor. There's the inbounds to Isa Brandon. Now he'll run the point. Johnson and Wales University throws it left. Jopon Whitley. A whistle before the shot.
Once again, I gotta commend the shoe game we're seeing in this one. Isa Brandon with the Kyries, that pale purple, looking pretty fly. We got some Jordan 12s over here. We got some Jordan 11s, the Space Jam 11s for all those who did not watch Space Jam. We got a couple of J's out here. I see some 6s over there with Jaquan Whitley. I see a lot of Kyrie. So we're seeing Kyrie and Jordan dominate the shoe game in this one, Jesse. So definitely might be a Space Jam 3 featuring Kyrie just off of the shoe game alone.
Uncle Drew?
Uncle Drew. But look at the shoe game. We're seeing, I definitely taken a liking to Isa Brandon's Kyrie's. I'm gonna have to get those signed and patented after this one. Maybe a broadcaster special. Might need to get 2 of them for actually 3 for Jerry to let him get his debut in the FBA.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Whitley out beyond the arc, guarded by Glegg. Now Whitley takes a 3 and misses that one wide right.
With all the airmail that's been sent to Jerry's house, we should get a pair of Kyrie's.
I believe so. Cleveland, the step back 3.
Nice high arcing jump shot. Not able to see the bottom.
Ray, no good on that one, and Moss pulls down the rebound. Here's Moss, right side. Glegg, the pump fake, steps back. Now into some traffic as Moisambo hits the deck and called for a travel.
Seems like he may have rolled his ankle a little bit. Still able to run.
(50-42) with 4 minutes to play in the second. Foul on Elijah Gray, moving screen. Four team fouls on the Florida flight, 2 on Gainesville.
And I really like this matchup right here. Jabari Hayes is very aggressive on the defensive end, and you're seeing him harass Brandon Moss.
And Moss, as much as he can be harassed, he can't be really stopped. He's got 19 points.
He's one of those guys you just hope to contain. You don't stop him. You just hope to contain him.
You can only hope to contain him. You played 2K. Moss inside with a little flip up into the cup.
There's just no really containing him either, because his off-ball movement is phenomenal. He understands as soon as your back is turned to him, he's in a different area. He's quicker than you, he's taller than you, and he can jump higher than you.
Down low inside, Isa Brandon misses that one, and Adam Waldo pulls that one down. Cleveland looking ahead to Dickerson. Dickerson passes to the left. Waldo winds up and takes a 3. And a loose ball foul on the floor. Gainesville's in the bonus, so they'll get to start shooting. Under 3 minutes to play in the second quarter.
Already in the bonus in the second quarter. Slightly under 3 minutes left to play, about 2:58 left on the game clock. We're seeing guys make their free throws in this one, and that proves very important coming down the stretch. We've seen tightly contested games all day today, and free throws have been the difference.
Cool thing about Gainesville that I honestly wish other teams adopted. Gainesville almost at 75% from the free throw line this season.
And they're also shooting a solid 42%, basically 43% from the field. So they know how to get good looks and get their guys in the spots they need to be shooting in.
Hayes to Whitley, catch and shoot. Here comes the flight going the other direction. Moss, yes sir!
He is a walking highlight reel, rather a jumping highlight reel. Brandon Moss does a phenomenal job of catching everything that's thrown and slamming it down with reckless abandon. Doesn't care about his hand, doesn't care about anything.
Does not care about his hand.
He's lucky to have all his fingers when he's done with this game, how many dunks he's had so far.
It's a 4-point game. Catch and shoot and a make by Marquise Watts. The new guy coming into the game, hasn't played yet this season, but now already has 7 points through almost 2 quarters of action. Glegg from the right wing, a few dribbles in, throws it up off balance, and Watts pulls that one down. Brandon making his way through the lane. Elijah Gray, the second chance, tipped around. Travell Dickerson pulls that one down. He's going to have some trouble with it as he's on the floor. He tries to give it up to Elliot Glegg and a jump ball on the floor. It'll be between Elliot Glegg and Elijah Gray.
Great hustle on the defensive end by Gray on that one. I'm not really, once again, I'm not sure who's going to win this with Jesse. I don't know, you know.
I mean, you and I just watched Space Jam. What if there's like a little up button on the floor that we don't see right now, and just Glegg could step on it with his right foot and go shooting up into the sky after the ball. That'd be pretty awesome.
We need Jerry to throw that boost out like Dom did on the Space Jam.
Come on, Jerry. No spoilers. No spoilers, Alvin.
That wasn't a spoiler. We gave them a little sprinkle. They have no idea what we're talking about.
I hope not. for your sake.
They don't know what we're talking about. They have no idea. All right. But this is just a great job by the Mighty Oaks. They understand how important this game is to be the first team to scratch that first L on the flight. They're doing a great job. They're playing with heart. They're playing tenacious, and they're doing a phenomenal job.
Sweet thing. I've been waiting for you all day long.
Ooh, yeah.
I like this. Elliot Glegg and Elijah Gray, center court.
No height mismatch
For
at
all the marbles. A minute and a half to go in the second quarter. Putting a lot of leeway on this. Elliot Glegg! Elliot Glegg won it.
Never count the underdog out, but look
It's
at
the heart
trap.
of a warrior. Dickerson. Left side, Glegg for three, and you gotta reward him for it.
Elliot Glegg winning the tip, hustling down the court, knocking down the corner tray ball. Wow, what a possession by Elliot Glegg. That is what you get out of the Florida flight.
A three-point game, Isa Brandon hits one on the other side.
Not for long, not for long. Isa Brandon is a premier guard in this league. 6'4" coming out of Johnson and Wales. The former Wildcat knows how to play the game of basketball.
Glegg again, good!
We have ourselves a game. 45 seconds left in this game, and we're seeing three after three.
Hayes, he wanted to get in on some of that action. 57-54, a three-point difference. Glegg again for the tie. No good. 30 seconds to play, and Isa Brandon will bring this one up the floor. He'll have his guys spread out. The only other sole person up top is Elijah Gray, who will set the pick right here on the right side of Terry Cleveland. Now he'll go away. And ISO up in the top left corner. A quick pass over to the right. Elijah Gray, 4 seconds on the shot clock. That one bounces away. Brandon Moss with 3 seconds left to go. Can he get there? Yes, he does! 0.8 seconds left to go. And there's a 1-point difference between these two teams at the end of the second quarter. 57-56. This is all you could ever want from your Sunday night game of the week.
At Envy Labs, we build web applications that start with an idea. They move through strategy and need an outside.
It's a little bit of a late call here, but an inbound's really quick to Terry Cleveland, and that will do it for the end of the second quarter. We apologize for that confusion there, but still a very close game nonetheless. 57-56 the score. After we come back from the half, Alvin will have the coaches' reports, and we'll keep this thing rolling. Keep it here. This is the FBA on YouTube and Facebook Live, presented by Poly Wealth Management.
At Envy Labs, we build web applications that start with an idea. They move through strategy and need an outside eye ahead of wireframes and technical specifications. There's design and layout and functionality, but there's also performance, things like accessibility and data visualization. It all comes together for what ultimately is a successful launch. Over the past decade, Envy Labs has built platforms that pair things like data and sports or environmental science. We've built technical training platforms around data science and around network administration, and we've bootstrapped and sold our own product. We are a temporary CTO and an outside specialist in strategy, design, and development. It takes a lot to go from idea to launched web application, but it's all right there in our name. Reach out to hello@navylabs.com and let's take a look at your idea together.
Burgers, fries, and shakes Oviedo Mall. Best burger you'll ever eat. It's worth the drive.
Hey, what is up, everyone? My name is Susie, and I'm a full-time partner streamer on Twitch.tv. I've made it my mission to help gamers win in every area of life. So whether it's helping you win in gaming by teaching the latest tips and tricks on whatever games you might be playing, helping you win in fitness through my daily fitness streams, or even just helping you win in your week, we're building genuine community, and we've got a place just for you. So I want to encourage you right now to follow me over at twitch.tv/SusieLive. I stream Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and we hope to see some of you soon.
Welcome back to the third quarter of action here in the Florida Flight and the Gainesville Mighty Oaks Sunday night game of the week, presented by Polywealth Management, Jesse O, Alvin Delvey, Jerry Pettit, and we're actually joined by the head coach of the Winter Park Storm, head coach Barry Mestel. Coach, it's so good to have you with us. Thank you for joining us. And
my pleasure.
You guys had a pretty good game today. You got to be pretty proud of your guys for getting back in the win column.
Very. You know, we put in that new defense that I talked to you about, and we've only practiced it 3 times, but I think that today, for the most part, the guys did a great job. You know, the rotations always help the helper, so to speak. That was one key for sure. Offensively, 2 things. One, they recognized where the strength was. And number 33, what's his, Blackman, I think is his name?
Blackman, yeah.
They kept playing him with 5 fouls. Obviously, what to do is spread your offense and just throw it into Patson. And I believe with 5 fouls, Patson got about 10 points, 12 points. Then in the fourth quarter, I knew that a couple of our guys were getting a little bit tired, but I needed them. So what I did was I put Nate, needed him on rebounding and defense, and then DJ on offense. I don't know if you noticed how many times we kept switching.
Yeah.
And at that point, I noticed every time we'd make a sub, which is every possession, they wouldn't know who to pick up. So we capitalized on that. So yeah, it was a great win, but it's over. But now we look for the next one.
And who do you guys have next?
I think the Bobcats.
Okay. And you got to be proud of Dom Douglas's performance today as well.
Always.
He's pretty awesome to watch.
Always. You know, when he gets hot, he gets hot.
Yeah.
And but by the same token, if he sees, like with Patson, he'll throw it in. He plays very unselfishly. I don't know how many points he ended up with, but Dom always plays very unselfishly, and he really gets the defense. I would be remiss not to mention Day-Day, Knight. He's got such energy, and he loves playing defense. That's what we needed.
He got a couple steals today as well, but I think my last question for you is going to have to be, of all the guys that you've coached this year, who have you seen that's improved the most? I know that's kind of, putting you on the spot, but I'm just curious.
That's all right. I'm used to spots. Who's improved the most? Well, I would have to say DJ, because he's learned how to play the point. He's learned that one key is keeping the offensive flow. Plus, he gets a great read on the defense. He's learned that. And when somebody's guarding him, I think it was number 25, well, I told him, DJ, you can go right by him, but you need to use that little step back crossover so you'll be on your right side. And we've been working on that together. He did it really well. So I'd say DJ.
Elliot Glegg gets a shot on the right side. Coach, thank you so much for joining us. And
Always a pleasure.
We're looking forward to talking with you very soon here.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. That's Coach Barry Mestel here with his post-game report. And we're back here for a 63-58 game. Anthony Young missed a shot there.
It's always interesting to see or hear the words of a coach like Barry Mestel. He has a lot of wisdom and IQ with the guys he coaches, and you witnessed that in the scheme that he's drawn up today in his game with Winter Park. They got the W as well, so doing everything right there on the upward trend, and it's basically on the efforts he's done on creating the winning culture on his team.
You are a beautiful jacket today, Coach.
Nice.
Inside, there's a shot. Little finger roll there by Eden Demirovic, who's now got 10 points.
And that goes right along the lines of what Coach A.J. Stallworth had to say about his first half. He wants them to continue to score in the fashion that they've done so, taking care of the basketball and getting guys easy shots in spots that they're used to being efficient in. And really handling the onslaught that the Florida Flight is to bring in the third quarter. Coach understands that you can't stop the Flight offensively. They have too many weapons. They are too good to be stopped. You just have to match their intensity and make sure you don't beat yourselves. They're going to make difficult shots. They're going to make impossible shots. They're going to make very highlight plays. You're going to make impossible defensive plays. However, you have to stay the course, ride that wave, and continue to play your game of basketball, play your brand of basketball. And I believe that we have witnessed them do a phenomenal job at that.
And Alvin, for the Florida Flight on their side of things, what are they trying to really do coming out here?
Get their stars hot. They believe that as they didn't play their best brand of basketball, but that's a testament to the defense that Mighty Oaks brings to the table. Getting their guys to do what they're used to doing, allowing Brandon Moss, for instance, to facilitate the way he wants to facilitate. Elliot Glegg getting to his spots, knocking down his shots. Winfrey doing what he does with Grant Gullett on the bench is going to be a little difficult, a little different dynamic, but a lot of their guys are banged up as well. So getting these guys easier looks at the basket is going to be the tail of the tape for their high-powered offense. This is everything we've expected out of the game of the week. A 5-point discrepancy in the game. The money quarter is upon us. Both teams are hot, ready to roll. Stay tuned for a fantastic show.
The Alvin Delvey termed money quarter with 8.5 minutes left to play in the period. Turnaround jumper by Jonathan Johnson is made.
And that's what you want. Nice guard play, and Jonathan Johnson getting into a seam of the defense right where he wants it. Nice pass, nice shot, perfect execution.
And Jonathan Johnson with only 10 points, but that's just a testament to how good the Gainesville Mighty Oaks are at sharing the basketball today, especially. Brandon Moss, the fade away, is off the left side of the rim. Just left that a little bit short as he was drifting away. Other side, fast break, Anthony Young, right corner to Jared Doherty. Back up top, Jonathan Johnson, the hesitation, and goes right up into the middle.
Jonathan Johnson needs to take the rim off the backboard, but that's still a solid finish. 2 points added to their total, 69 to 60. Jonathan Johnson doing what he needs to do offensively.
Moss off the front side iron. Hayes underneath in the reverse. It's good. First double-digit lead for the Gainesville Mighty Oaks this game. They are up 71 to 60. A nice take down low by Jabari Hayes. That's his 5th point of the day, but doing everything he can off ball as well as play defense, and we're seeing some of his elite defense here. 7 minutes to play in the third quarter. Down low, Waldo, easy layup.
And that's how you set the plate if you're the Florida Flight. Phenomenal job on that one.
Waldo's first basket of the game. Hayes into traffic. Johnson lining up a 3. Here comes Moss, other direction, gives it up to Glegg. That's good unselfish basketball, and Glegg rewards him for it. Moss the assist, Glegg a big 3, and Elliot Glegg with 13.
That's exactly what you need to do if you're Elliot Glegg. Get to your spot and trust your teammates to find you there. Nice job being stout, being calm, following through. Nice form on that jump shot. Banging home a trifecta.
Wesley Whitley and Brandon checking in for Johnson, Young, and Hayes. Waldo will come out. Moisambo back in. Moss, full speed, sends it back. Glegg, Ambo. Throws to Prunty, cutting. Ambo underneath, fade away, and Brandon the rebound. A 6-point difference between these teams, under 6 minutes to play in the third. Johnson gets right by Ambo on the left side.
Nice move by Johnson, getting to the rack.
Ball out of bounds off the flight. So Elliot Glegg will check out. Terry Cleveland back in.
Elliot Glegg getting a well-deserved rest. He's playing a solid game.
Shane Prunty comes up with the steal. Prunty other side, in for the layup. He's fouled as Moss put it through. The shot won't count. How Prunty will get to go to the line to shoot too. By the way, it is pronounced Prunty, but
no,
he's part of the JR Bear broadcast crew as well. So the JR Bear production team member Shane Prunty to the line.
Doing a phenomenal job off the court and on it. We see him handle the dance moves by Brandon, which typically breaks guys off. He's able to stay there, stay square, gets the steal, and races everyone down to the other end, drawing the contact. Wow, it feels like our very own, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's because he is.
Shane getting things done. Look at that back pedal by Shane.
Shane's first point of the game.
He's ready to go.
Johnson into the lane, right side. Wesley lining up a three, just a little bit strong. And the tipping was no good by Demirovic, and Moss pulls down the rebound. 73 to 66. 7-point lead, Moss fouled. And you can tell how much Flight are missing the catalyst, guy who keeps it all together, of Grant Gullet.
Jesse, you cannot talk enough about the presence of Grant Gullet. You see him doing everything that needs to be done. He had a game where he had 31 points and 30 rebounds. I don't know if I've ever seen a stat line like that outside of Wilt Chamberlain, but that is something, to say the least, who Grant Gullet is. He does everything that is unseen by this team. However, they're still a solid team. They have a great coacher. Coach Mark King does a phenomenal job of getting his guys involved and understanding their roles on this team. Everyone plays their part, but Grant Gullet is missed when he's not on the court.
Catch and shoot by Watts, and Moss another rebound. So Moss a double-double already. He's got 25 points. Quick pass, left corner. Caleb Winfrey couldn't convert. Here comes Isa Brandon going the other direction. Up top, guarded by Winfrey. Switches up his dribble, now goes in with the left. Wesley wanted the long two to fall. The pass ahead to Cleveland. And Cleveland with an easy bucket.
Terry Cleveland doing a lot more offensively than we're accustomed to seeing. And that's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Florida Flight.
Coach King not happy with the call, held back by Grant Gullet. Here comes the inbound. Whitley left wing. That one's off the mark. Inside. And a foul. 4:10 left to go in the third. It's a 3-point game.
So this is a phenomenal game. It's a 3-point discrepancy on the scoreboard. However, I think the best entertainment is by far in the coaching area. We have Mark King needs about 3 to 10 feet of real estate in order to really let his emotions fly. And Coach AJ Stallworth is no better. Both guys love to roam, and one day for the fans, we'll get a wiring system on these guys. Both coaches are very competitive, going head-to-head. Both of their teams are playing phenomenal right now. Coach A.J. Stallworth and the Gainesville Mighty Oaks have the slight upper hand, and it seems like they make cruise to win this money quarter.
Whitley with now 8 points. Ball stolen by Isa Brandon. He'll go in fast break, 2-on-1. Passes out Whitley, lining up 3, left wing. A big rebound by Johnson, and he missed the second one. Brandon Moss going the other direction. They have a 3-on-1, and that's a good foul.
Very smart foul. And Caleb Winfrey did not let up the act. He knew there was going to be an alley-oop, so he went with it with no ball. Showing off some of that athleticism. Very heads-up play by Jonathan Johnson. Understanding you cannot let Brandon Moss get a full head of steam on a 3-to-1 ratio on that possession. That would have been detrimental to the momentum he worked so hard to build.
Glegg, the inbound to Cleveland. He gives it back up to his point guard. Double team. Moss up top. Throws the right side. Batted out of bounds violently by Watts.
Very good read by Watts. Read that all the way and batted it out of bounds because he knew he was going out of bounds. You can't let them get those numbers back. Phenomenal job by Watts. He's done a great job. The former Bowie State Bulldog is having a great game so far.
A turnover taken away by Whitley. 3.5 minutes to play in the third. Wesley down low to Watts. Watts through some traffic makes the shot from 2 feet out.
Watts showing his work early in the game and continuing through the second half. Phenomenal job on the defensive end and now on the offensive end. Look at this defense by Isa Brandon.
Here's Ambo to screen Brandon. Off of Moss, who takes it all the way to the house.
You can only hope to contain it.
Brandon, right side. Shot waved off, a 3 in the key on the offense.
If Brandon Moss dunks another ball like that, I may have to go on a rant. Because at this point, it's ridiculous. Great job by the flight defense, forcing them to get a 3-second in the key. I like that defense by Isa Brandon.
I mean, that's the only way to guard Moss.
Yes, you pick up a foul, but you let him know you're here. You're playing that type of defense, you're going to be here for the rest of the night. You're going to get your plays, but man, be careful with the basketball and it's mine. Love that mentality by him. Gotta love it. You have to love this type of defense.
That's
he
what
picked
Brandon
up
is.
the
Yep.
assignment.
Quick give and go. Glegg for 3. That was a good setup, though, on the shot. And Brandon stepped out of bounds.
Very interesting call. It seemed like he tapped it up, but hey, we're on the other side of the court.
The inbound to Ambo. Cleveland right up top.
Another airmail. Did we get Jordan for that one? We got Kyrie's last airmail. Think we get some J's.
Might as well. 2.5 minutes to play in the third. Wesley inside. Watts falls down.
Flat tire.
Johnson. Brandon. Watts from a couple feet. That one tipped around. And Watts a big rebound there. Whitley likes the 3 ball.
Wow.
And Watts finally making it over Moss.
Wow. Class eaters. Gainesville Mighty Oaks want this game, and they're putting it to the test.
Shot inside, won't fall. A 7-point game differential. Isa Brandon for 3. Good! Isa Brandon with 9 points. A 10-point ball game with a minute and a half to play. Moss, a look left side to Caleb Winfrey, who elevates and puts it through.
Great job by Caleb Winfrey, attacking that baseline drive, elevating, and the surest point in the game is a two-handed slam. Great job, Caleb Winfrey.
Johnson coming to a halt. Now he's out beyond the arc, gets Winfrey to come out, and Johnson making the mid-range jumper. Jonathan Johnson with 16 points now out of Bethune-Cookman, averaging 32 this season. He had 32 points, or excuse me, he's averaging 23 this season. He had 32 last game, which they beat the Pride 133 to 104. Glegg on the left side, 38 seconds left in the third. Glegg dribbling around and making the shot from a couple feet out.
Fantastic display of offense by Elliot Glegg.
Elliot Glegg with 15 points, 30 seconds to go. Isa Brandon on the far side, guarded by Glegg well out beyond the arc. Now he passes up top to Johnson. You don't want to leave him alone. He can make a shot from anywhere. A 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Isa Brandon will slow this one down. Looking right now, going that direction, down the lane, up with the right hand, no good. Brandon Moss with 8 seconds left to go. Throws it to the left. Elliot Glegg for 3. That one tipped around. Terry Cleveland down low to Moss, who got it off in time, but he couldn't make it. And an 8-point difference. Gainesville has extended their lead by a little bit. And only one more quarter of action. We'll see how deep the Florida Flight can dig if they want to remain undefeated this season.
Muy Out Burgers, Fries, and Shakes Oviedo Mall. Best burger you'll ever eat. It's worth the drive.
Welcome back to the final quarter of action. Jesse O alongside Alvin Delvey and Jerry Pettit on hand, bringing you FBA basketball all Sunday long, every Sunday from now until the end of September, with the exception of Labor Day weekend. But we'll get to that. Dickerson going left, now switching up his dribble, now goes right, and a foul within the first 13 seconds of the fourth quarter.
And that's a tough call because I genuinely believe that Trey Jackson was just sliding his feet, being aggressive, being tenacious, but that's what you're going to get. Two premier teams in this league, they're going to be a little physical. One thing that we've seen the Florida Flight struggle with, and this is from the Hawkeye of the one and only Jerry Pettit, fantastic producer for FBA. He does a lot of things for us. The Florida Flight aren't moving the ball as well as we usually see them do it. Usually we see 4 or 5 passes before a shot goes up, and so far in this game, they're down for the first time in the fourth quarter, it seems. And you got guys like Winfrey, who's sinking in different corners, and different guys outside of Moss and Glegg who aren't really touching the ball. Very interesting to see if they will rectify this problem early in the fourth quarter, or if the Mighty Oaks will continue doing what they're doing by spreading the ball and making great plays.
Moss splits them. He's got 28. Young dancing around the bounce pass down low to Trey Jackson, who's cutting baseline. Young guarded by Winfrey, goes around him. He can't make the mid-range. Moss now, other direction, slowing it down. 11 minutes to play in the quarter. Moss from straight away, off to the left. Demirovic. Young can't make the free throw line extended.
That's his shot.
Yeah.
Have to start falling.
Dickerson from the right wing.
That's also his shot.
Shots are just not falling. Whitley, a few dribbles in, they give off, and a block by Moss on Isa Brandon. And Brandon stepped out of bounds with it.
Good job by Moss to elevate and make that play on that end, because if he doesn't make that, that's 2 points for Isa Brandon. Love that matchup.
Dickerson fouled as he was going towards the basket. Went up for the shot, and now will get to the line and shoot 2.
We're watching some fantastic guard play from both teams. Dickerson being the beneficiary of an aggressive attack towards the basket. He also has some fly Kyrie's on. Just for those who, you know, pay attention to the shoe game.
Yeah, well, there you go. I'm glad we have, you're our resident shoe guy on the broadcast, Alvin. 10 points for Travell Dickerson. Demirovic steps out of bounds.
Great job by Elliot Glegg, forcing that pressure, making him do a move he hasn't done in a while, trying to go behind the back quicker than he's used to.
Keep in mind, it's a 5-point game, Alvin. Glegg, catch and shoot up top. Good!
2-point game. Fantastic shot by Elliot Glegg, staying true to what he does.
Elliot Glegg with 18, only had 8 points in their last game. There's an air ball. Moss. Right up top, left side, Dickerson to Moss. Moss for the lead. Oh, wow. I was ready. It looks good coming out of his hand, too.
It looked beautiful coming out until he got close to the rim.
Yeah.
It's always like, I feel like it's slow motion. There's music playing, birds chirping, and then it hits the rim and record scratch.
I always think it's like the Rocky, like dun 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 bum bum banana. Anyways, 84-82 the score. Dickerson hits the deck hard. Four team fouls on the Gainesville Mighty Oaks already, Alvin, and that's a problem because you still have a little bit over 9 minutes to play in the fourth.
And you don't want them to be one more foul, and that is a real problem. Real problem, because now Florida Flight's going to get very aggressive offensively. They're going to really start attacking those seams because now they just want to get that foul and get into the bonus with 9 minutes left in this ball game. They have 0 fouls.
That's a lot of time
to just be shooting free throws. For the Mighty Oaks, their shots just aren't falling. They're getting all the looks they want. Anthony Young has gotten a couple of his patented mid-range jump shots back iron, just not getting them to sink.
So a lot of player transactions this year for the Gainesville Mighty Oaks, but Alvin, who have you been impressed by the most on the Gainesville Mighty Oaks so far this season?
So obviously, I like what Anthony Young brings to the table. Jaquan Whitley, Jared Doherty does a great job, but Jonathan Johnson, I believe, has just grown exponentially from the first game we watched him to where he is now. His game just increases with every showing. However, I really like Isa Brandon and what he brings to the table as well. He's very crafty with the basketball, and he plays phenomenal defense. He's just tenacious, like a honey badger, so to speak, on the defensive end, picking up the assignments like Brandon Moss and Elliot Glegg. He goes 1 through 4 on the defensive end, and he can create his own jump shot. He does a lot facilitating wise and just a high motor. So I would have to say it's out of Jonathan Johnson and Isa Brandon.
Those are some great picks. Jonathan Johnson, one of the top 10 scorers in the FBA. Obviously, he's going against the #1 scorer in the FBA, but the Florida Flight are also missing one of their top scorers and top rebounders in Grant Gullett right now.
Grant Gullett being out creates a whole different team because they are very different when Grant Gullett is suited up and ready to play.
Trey Jackson will grab his own rebound, go down low. Elijah Gray can't get that one to fall. Moss now going in transition, has that one knocked away. And a blocking foul on Elliot Glegg. Under 9 minutes to go in the fourth. And the Florida Flight, not used to being down this late in the game.
Definitely not. They're only down 2, so they could really hit a tray ball and get things going and go on a crazy run. This is definitely new territory. And for Coach AJ and the Mighty Oaks, this is new territory for them too, to really be up this late in the game versus the premier team, literally the #1 team in this league. Got to be nerve-wracking for them because you want to stay aggressive, but you don't try to press too much because you don't want to do any ill-advised thing on offense.
Isa Brandon down low, couldn't get that one to fall, blocked by Moss. And a foul down low. An interesting thing to note between these two teams, both shooting 31% from beyond the arc, and two of the only teams we have in the FBA that shoot pretty well from beyond the arc. Every other team that we've seen today is in the 20s.
Definitely, and it's because of how they shoot from beyond the arc. You don't see them taking crazy step back, contested shots. You see them moving the ball 4 or 5 times, and then you see an open corner shot or open shot here. It's not necessarily guys doing one-on-one ISO ball and then trying to jack up a 3. You see a well-oiled jump shot being the catalyst, and it's by solid shooters.
Trey Jackson puts his team back up by 4. Moss up top picks up his dribble. Elliot Glegg now. A few dribbles with his right hand. Moss inside. Fouled and makes the shot. And if you're ever in a pinch, give it to the guy who will consistently give you 30 every single game, and he's done just that. 30 points already for Brandon Moss, averaging around 40 per game. He's still got 8.5 minutes to play, but only had 19 points last game, so really eclipsing that margin today. And he makes the free throw, make that 31 for the league leading scorer for the big man on the Florida Flight. 86-85, the Florida Flight trail by 1. Young finding his spot right side. That one won't fall through. Gray puts that one in.
Exactly what you need to see by Brandon Moss, getting an and one opportunity, knocking it home. And Elijah Gray making that shot go up and in, trying to keep hold of this three-point lead.
Caleb Winfrey, short on the three. And it's off of Gainesville, so the Flight get the ball back. Still a three-point game. The Florida Flight have not had the lead since the second quarter.
And it seems like they're going to have themselves a nice run. And this is where the Mighty Oaks have to weather the storm. Florida Flight is going to pour it on. If you want to see victory, if you're the Mighty Oaks, you have to weather this storm. And if you want to be the victor.
Moss tried to jam that one home, but was fouled with 7:40 to go in the fourth.
This is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Flight. You have to see an aggressive Brandon Moss, aggressive Elliot Glegg, and an aggressive Caleb Winfrey. Even though he's not in right now, when he gets back in for right now, you need to see everyone who's on the court very aggressive. Attacking the basket. If you are in the bonus, make sure they pay for it.
Crucial free throws. In every game we've seen today, come down to free throws.
And as a team, the Flight is shooting about 67% from the free throw strike.
Adam Waldo, regardless of the whistle, was going to the line, but it was a shooting foul.
Shooting the same regardless.
Seven and a half minutes to play as Waldo goes to the line. Today was the first day he's taken a couple free throws, and he didn't really touch anything on that first one.
Definitely some airmail. I think on that one might have sent us a pair of Kobe's, hopefully. So with all the airmail we've gotten, I think we got some Jordans. Just to recap, Jordans, Kyrie's, and now we got some Kobe's. I think the next airmail, we might get some KD's.
Waldo with 3 points, 88 to 86. Whitley, the catch and shoot left side.
Great contest.
And a fight for the rebound down low. Trey Jackson is fouled.
Great contest by Waldo, forcing that shot to be a little off.
Florida Flight trying to stay undefeated. The Gainesville Mighty Oaks trying to get above 500 on their record. Gainesville is 4-4 this season. The Florida Flight are 6-0. So Gainesville, with a win in this game, could actually propel themselves into top 4 in the FBA.
This is a huge game for the Mighty Oaks, and they've been playing like it. You see them hustling all over the court, doing what needs to be done.
And like we were saying earlier, Trey Jackson hitting a couple of clutch free throws there. 4-point game. Glegg steps back, picks up his dribble. Ambo to Glegg. Now we'll see what he can do. Moss up top. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Moss straight away. He's still looking for his first make from beyond the arc today. Jackson left side, Isa Brandon the pump fake, back to Jackson, guarded by Dickerson. The good extra pass to Whitley. And Moss fighting for the rebound, and he pulls that one down. God, Moss is so good with his hands. Because, you know, some big guys kind of have butterfingers, but Moss has just such control of the ball. Once it hits his hands, it's almost impossible to try to steal the ball away from him once he has, you know, he gets a finger on it.
He has big hands. He's able to, like you said, he has strong hands, but he plays the game of basketball like a guard. He acts like he's 6 foot, but he's 6'11". So he's very coordinated, very athletic. Just so happens he's 6'11", so you can't necessarily guard him. He has extreme vertical, can rise up, slash. He's quick, like exactly what you want out of a slasher.
Off of the Flight last. It's still a 4-point game. Moss keeps grabbing that left hand. It's still giving him trouble.
100%. But he's put on a very good game despite that pain he's feeling from his hand.
Isa Brandon, the putback and the foul. Wow.
That is what you need to see if you're a Mighty Oaks fan. Isa Brandon chasing down that offensive board, getting it up and in, +1.
And he couldn't convert the three-point play. Ball tipped around from Waldo, who passes it ahead to Glegg. Elliot Glegg doing a great job of always being an outlet at the right place. Offensive foul and illegal screen on Moisambo.
Elliot Glegg has also just been a constant. He's a true point guard, likes to facilitate, get guys involved, but when it's his opportunity to shoot, Jesse, watch out. He is lighting it up from the three. He shoots about 41% from beyond the arc. Absolutely phenomenal. Lethal three-point shooter, but he also averages about 6.5 assists per game. Does a phenomenal job of distributing the ball, but knows how to take his shots. Exactly what you need from the point guard position.
Both teams now in the bonus. (92-86). We're here in the fourth quarter. Jesse O, Alvin Delvey, and Jerry Pettit on hand with you all day. Thank you for joining us. We're still having a lot of fun, aren't we, gentlemen?
Of course. Wouldn't rather, no other place I'd rather be.
Especially with that rain outside. Whew. Glad to be inside.
Glad to be inside. Love that we're inside, watching a fantastic game.
We've had a couple great games today.
Definitely. That Bobcat game was something. And this one is very interesting. We're seeing some stuff we've never seen before this season. The Flight are down with 6:22 left in the ball game. Coach AJ is happy, smiling, and dancing.
There's the pass ahead to Winfrey off the hands of what looked to be like Anthony Young.
Great job by Anthony Young to read that play like a safety. Getting back there, elevating, getting his hand on that, giving his defense a chance to make a play.
Bounce pass into Waldo from the right block, turning around, and left that one short. Isa Brandon getting through traffic. Great job of securing the ball, but then he threw it away. Travell Dickerson cut that one off, gives it up to Moss. And now Moss getting around Whitley, bounce pass down low, and Adam Waldo putting it through. 5-point game.
Great job breaking that impromptu press by the Flight. Moving the rock and catching guys where they need to be caught.
Johnson fouled. Oh, we got to mic both of these coaches up at some point this season.
They are a show by themselves. Very entertaining gentlemen, to say the least. Jonathan Johnson missing that first free throw. And in a game like this, you cannot afford to miss any free throws. Love to see that they had transitioned their defense into a full court man-to-man press. However, they left a shooter wide open.
Travell Dickerson on the catch and shoot. And here comes Anthony Young. Young running right side. Johnson from the free throw stripe. Isa Brandon, a big rebound. Into Johnson. Johnson over Moss from the left side.
He won't miss two in the same possession. Great job by Jonathan Johnson relocating and getting an easier look, finishing that assist.
JJ now with 19 points. Glegg, a screen from Waldo on the left, now pulls up from that left elbow, and he wanted a foul, drew some contact is what he thought.
And that's why you love having a guy like Elliot Glegg. Gets into his seam, gets to his spot, knocks down big shots.
Ball knocked away. Winfrey to Diggerson with the scoop. And that one's good. It's a 4-point game.
Nice little run the Flight are going on. Diggerson getting to the lane. Nice little dynamic with the ball. Moving that thing all around and getting it up and in.
Isa Brandon falls down, and it's a foul.
Wow, you gotta have these coaches mic'd up at some point.
That, or we just have to put a mic over at the scorer's table. What do you say to that, Jerry?
I think that
we just keep a mic at the scorer's table, and that'd be a lot of fun. First free throw by Isa Brandon is made.
Coach Mark King pleading his case on the past few calls that's gone against him. Very interesting how this game has been developing. Only a 6-point discrepancy in this ball game so far.
Now another foul with 4:31 left to go on the clock. So free throws for the Flight. That one will go against Joquan Whitley. So in a game as tight as this, you cannot leave the game up to the officials.
Definitely don't like to see that. You want to see these guys play. And it seems like once it comes to the fourth quarter, we had the same issue in the last game. Our fourth quarters are really getting drawn out. I feel like, you know, Ben 10 when he presses a button, I feel like as soon as the fourth quarter hits and there's a couple of calls, we just Jeff Van Gundy.
Well, I mean, there was this show, it was called Ben 10 Ultimate Alien. I think that's what you hit. It's like, he used to, what was it he said?
Omnitrix.
No, he said, time to go Ultimate, and he hits his wrist, and that's what you just did, Alvin.
Turned it into Van Gundy because, man.
Johnson, a quick move to the inside. He's now got 21 points. It's a 6-point game. Diggerson driving into the restricted area. Moss. Right side. Moss goes in on Johnson and is fouled.
I love how Diggerson utilized that crab dribble, something that we see Chris Paul utilize in his game a lot. Brandon Moss just too quick, too fast, with a head full of steam going into that basket. It tracks the call.
Moss's free throw is up and good. So big free throws late here in the stretch. The last time the Florida Flight played, they beat Claremont 106-100, and that one came down to the final few minutes as well in the game. And that's where we first saw Joe Katsuka out of George Washington University, and he put up 24 points in his FBA debut. Brandon Moss added 19, and they pulled off a comeback win in that one, and they're hoping for something similar here, but Trey Jackson will not let them go away. Jackson with 8 points, 102-96. The lead back up to 6 for Gainesville.
Going back to Joe Katsuka in his last performance was a dynamic offensive weapon.
Moss the Euro step to make, and he'll go to the line and shoot.
Hope to contain him. Brandon Moss is just too good when he has a head full of steam right there, utilizing the European two-step, fights through the traffic, fights through contact, finds himself back at the line to complete a three-point play.
Gainesville beat the Pride 133 to 104 in their last game. Jonathan Johnson again with the team high 32 points as Gainesville won that game by their greatest margin of the year so far. That's one thing we don't necessarily talk about a lot is margin of victory. And the Flights' margin of victory has been going down while Gainesville has been extending their margins of victory in their wins. Anthony Young, right at the free throw stripe, makes the shot.
Wow. Anthony Young does not like open jump shots. A contested jump shot is exactly what he needed to break his shooter slump. And at the perfect time at that.
Glegg going inside, good pass over to Caleb Winfrey who finds his spot, and he makes it! Caleb Winfrey coming up big, knowing when and where to get to your spot. The Flight trail by 3.
Tit for tat basketball, this is exactly what you want to see.
Caleb Winfrey, maximum effort on the floor, diving for the ball. Young a pump fake into Johnson. Johnson, clear away! The lane for Jonathan Johnson, who threw it down. Roundhouse kick to the gut. 106 to 101. Caleb Winfrey is in some pain.
Hey, what is up, everyone? My name is Susie, and I'm a full-time partner streamer on Twitch.tv. I've made it my mission to help gamers win in every area of life. So whether it's helping you win in gaming by teaching the latest tips and tricks on whatever games you might be playing, helping you win in fitness through my daily fitness streams, or even just helping you win in your week, we're building genuine community, and we've got a place just for you. So I want to encourage you right now to follow me over at twitch.tv/SusieLive. I stream Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and we hope to see some of you soon.
Possession, we just watched Jonathan Johnson get his first poster of the NBA season. Fantastic job by Jonathan Johnson.
Kickball by Anthony Young.
We are also, Caleb Winfrey is in a lot of pain on that last possession. He gave out maximum effort, and right now he is getting worked on the sidelines. You just hope he's okay.
2.5 minutes to go in the fourth. Brandon Moss up top. Hesitation step against Isa Brandon. Catch and shoot from Elliot Glegg. Boom! Elliot Glegg hits a big three. He's got 23 points. 106 to 104 the score. A 2-point difference between these two teams. Gainesville does not want to drop this one after having the lead for so long. Whitley, the fadeaway off the front. Brandon Moss, the throw ahead to Terry Cleveland, who turns around and hits that one off the front iron. Tips around. Cleveland, and it'll hit the top. It was coming right to me. I had it.
Big time players make big time plays. Elliot Glegg with a dynamic, perfect timing three on that other end. And now you got guys hustling and bustling, trying to get this 2-point discrepancy to be alleviated. The Florida Flight are playing lights out in this fourth quarter.
Dickerson up top, throws it to the left wing. Brandon Moss. Up top, 106-104, a pump fake. Elliot Glegg gets to his spot, left elbow. Elliot Glegg ties it up. Elliot Glegg with 25 points with 1.5 minutes to go. Remember, 5 team fouls on both of these teams, so they cannot foul.
Big time players make big time plays.
Terry Cleveland, a big rebound there, and he'll give it up to Moss. This is all we could have wanted from a Sunday night game of the week. 1 minute left in regulation. Moss almost lost that one. Glegg up top, guarded by Young. Shane Prunty sets a screen. Glegg now moves to the left, guarded by Young, out beyond the arc. Glegg dribbling right side. Tried to pass it behind his back. It's stolen by Anthony Young. Young, double teamed. Finds Johnson for the outlet. 40 seconds left to go in the ball game. The bounce pass down low. And an offensive foul. That's going to hurt Gainesville. The offensive foul. .9 seconds left to go in the ball game.
It's a great defense by both ball clubs.
So still 5 team fouls apiece for both of these teams. Now Shane Prunty will take it out from the sideline. And he'll inbound to Moss. And Isa Brandon will back up. They cannot foul him. Moss with 14 seconds on the shot clock. They will ISO for him. Moss against Brandon. Steps back. Good! Brandon Moss with the ice in his veins, and a timeout taken on the floor. Brandon Moss with 39 points, right at his season average, and the first lead that the Florida Flight have had since the second quarter comes with 17 seconds left to go in the fourth, and we'll keep it here as we go into this timeout break. Alvin, how big is that shot for the Florida Flight?
Big time players make big time plays. You love to see Brandon Moss answer the beckoning call. He calls for an ISO on Isa Brandon, who's been pestering him all game, and lets him know this is my league, this is my game, it's my time to shine. Nice step back, kill dribble, bangs home the jumper, and now with 17 seconds on the clock, that's more than enough time for the Mighty Oaks to get a great look at the basketball hoop. So the Florida Flight's job is not done yet. They are not home free. There is a lot of time for the Mighty Oaks to get one last possession. So on their side, Coach King is getting his guys ready to play one last possession. You need one more possession out of your guys. And on the Mighty Oaks side, Coach AJ is getting his guys to understand that the game is not over. You have one more chance to get a good look. Even if you miss it, you have 17 seconds. That's a lot of time to get an offensive rebound. And if you just need to make it. Even if you do make it, there's still more basketball to be played. Both guys understand how severe this situation is.
Moss hits a jumper from the left side. And his team is finally up. Gainesville gets the ball back. Jonathan Johnson inbound to Isa Brandon. 15 seconds on the game clock. Brandon spinning into the lane. Gets underneath. Moss will pull that one away. And Moss getting through traffic. And clear the air for Brandon Moss. He sucked the life out of the building. .110 to 106. The Florida Flight have come back.
They are too good. Jesse, they are too good. They got what they wanted on the other end. Nice attack at the rim. Nice look at the basket. Wasn't able to finish, but man, a full head of steam with some exclamation point at the end. They're up 4 with 4.6 seconds on the clock. This game looks like it's all but over, but it's not over yet. We've seen crazy stuff happen, and this is a crazy game. Florida Flight coming all the way from the brink, coming back, surmounting the comeback, completing the comeback, and now they just have to maintain it for 4 seconds. Can they do it?
And Coach AJ trying to plead his case, saying that drew some contact down low for his layup. But as you like to say, Alvin, you know, like you can't let the officials decide the game. You gotta play through everything.
Never want to see the officials really call and win a game for either side. So you just want to make sure that the guys are playing their game, and it's tough.
The inbound to Young. Young with 3 seconds left to go. Steps back. Takes a three. Good! And his time expires. Anthony Young made a three. And Gainesville will lose this one 110 to 109. That hurts. But Gainesville now moves to 4-5 on the season. The Florida Flight stay undefeated, are 7-0 now. What a game for our Sunday night game of the week. We're going to take a break and come back for our post-game interview in just a sec. Keep it here with us. One more post-game show on the way to wrap up a long day of basketball.
At Envy Labs, we build web applications that start with an idea. They move through strategy and need an outside eye ahead of wireframes and technical specifications. There's design and layout and functionality, but there's also performance, things like accessibility and data visualization. It all comes together for what ultimately is a successful launch. Over the past decade, Envy Labs has built platforms that pair things like data and sports or environmental science. We've built technical training platforms around data science and around network administration, and we've bootstrapped and sold our own product. We are a temporary CTO and an outside specialist in strategy, design, and development. It takes a lot to go from idea to launched web application, but it's all right there in our name. Reach out to hello@envylabs.com and let's take a look at your idea together.
Fries and shakes Oviedo Mall. Best burger you'll ever eat. It's worth the drive.
Hey, what is up, everyone? My name is Susie, and I'm a full-time partner streamer on Twitch.tv. I've made it my mission to help gamers win in every area of life. So whether it's helping you win in gaming by teaching the latest tips and tricks on whatever games you might be playing, helping you win in fitness through my daily fitness streams, or even just helping you win in your week, we're building genuine community, and we've got a place just for you. So I want to encourage you right now to follow me over at twitch.tv/SusieLive. I stream Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 10.
Welcome back to the post-game show for Jerry Pettit and Alvin Delvey. Jesse O on hand. A 110 to 109 victory for the Florida Flight, and some great coaching by Mark King to help propel his team to victory. But I mean, not all credit can go to the coaching. I mean, he's got a guy that's an absolute superstar on his squad in Brandon Moss, who ended up putting up 39 points in this victory. How big was he, Alvin?
Well, if you watch this game at all and you really tuned into the fourth quarter, you witnessed what he did on that last possession. Locked up the play on one end, take it coast to coast to finish it home. Hit a slew of buckets in the fourth quarter, money quarter, or the crunch time. So he did a fantastic job. Elliot Glegg did his thing too in the fourth quarter, hitting a lot of contested jump shots in that fourth. I believe that their team really gelled in the fourth. The stars were able to shine, and they played fantastic on both offense and defense.
So the Gainesville Mighty Oaks now moved to 4-5 on the season, but not bad coaching on their end either. Just didn't have enough firepower to get through the finish line. But what can they do better?
Well, in this game, they just lost to a better team. You have free throws that you could have, there's little things that you could have nitpicked, but as a whole, they should be proud of this game. Obviously, you're not proud of what the score column shows and what is going to reflect in your win-loss column. However, that comes in. There's free throws you can make. There's a lot of jump shots weren't falling. So if they go and perfect their shooting and make sure that the shots they get, the good looks that they've created, they can knock those home and really hustle on the offensive board. Whenever they do miss it, they'll win their next game. They did a fantastic job on both ends. Just a little too much going on in the fourth quarter. They weren't able to maintain their lead. But on the other end, man, we have to give our kudos to the Flight. They really dug deep and surmounted that comeback and really completed the comeback late in that game. They did everything they needed to do. Their stars were able to shine. Big shots from Elliot Glegg, and they did so on the back of Brandon Moss. Even through a hobbled team, you had Caleb Winfrey suffering a knee injury. Early on in this game, he played through it, but on that last dive in the third quarter, as you all witnessed, he wasn't able to continue playing. But he played the whole game with that leg injury. Brandon Moss played with the hurt hand. Grant Gullett suffered a shoulder injury. So they did this on an injured team. So just a fantastic win by the undefeated Florida Flight. And just as a whole, top to bottom, they did a fantastic job.
Not enough can also be said about the effort of Jonathan Johnson for the Gainesville Mighty Oaks. Had 23 points, over 10 rebounds, and had his first dunk of the FBA season. I actually talked to him before the game, and he said, this is going to be the game where I get my first dunk. And he followed through with that promise, so it was really great to see him on that side of things. But the Gainesville Mighty Oaks now moved to 4-5 on the season. The Florida Flight stayed perfect, 7-0. Well, that'll pretty much do it. We had a whole slew of games here today, so if you want to go rewatch any of the games, you can find them all on our YouTube and Facebook Live pages. For Alvin Delvey and our fantastic producer, Jerry Pettit, who is always helpful and makes these broadcasts way better than they actually should be, and for everyone that helps out with the Jer Bear Productions crew, I'm Jesse O, saying good night here from our Winter Park location just outside of Orlando, Florida. Our final game in the Sunday night game of the week ends up 110-109. The Florida Flight stay undefeated. We'll see you next Sunday for another string of games. Good night.